Hello viewers, in this part of program of soil microorganism, I would tell you about the microorganism, their role in the soil and their types found in the soil. They have both beneficial as well as harmful activities in the soil. They play a role of soil pathogen and causes several diseases in the soil like root rot, wilt, etc. But at the same time, they are beneficial to the soil and plays an important role in soil organic matter decomposition, nitrogen fixation and nitrification process. Now I would tell you about what are soil microorganisms. Microorganisms are very small living things that can only be seen under high power microscope. Microorganism includes virus, bacteria, protozoa, microscopic fungi and microscopic algae. Now first bacteria. Bacteria are single-celled microbes that are so abundant that a square inch of soil contains millions of these microorganisms. In lab, one can produce 5 billion in 12 hours. They are very tiny, means having 1 micrometer width. In real world, limited by predators, water and food availability. They are abundant in rhizosphere. Rhizosphere is the zone surrounding the roots. They found on dead root cells and exudate, stimulate microbial growth. These are the pictures showing microbial growth in the soil. There are 4 functional groups of bacteria. First are decomposers. They decompose organic chemicals in big complex chains and rings. Bacteria break bonds using enzymes they produce. They create simpler and smaller chains. They immobilize nutrients in their cells. They prevent loss of nutrients from rooting zone. The next functional group of bacteria is mutualists. They form partnership with plants, for example, rhizobium and legumes. The third group is pathogens. These pathogens cause many plant galls and are the reason for many soil-borne diseases in the crops. The fourth one is the chemoautotrophs. They get energy from compounds found in the soil. Now next is fungi. They are microscopic cells, grow as long threads called hyphae. They are aerobic and largely distributed in forests, benefit the soil as they function as decomposers and also act as soil binders, making the earth's water retention more efficient. Some microfungi such as species of Alternaria, Aspergillus, Cladosporium and Dematium are helpful in the preservation of organic materials in the soil. So fungi plays an important role because due to their hyphal growth, they bound the soil particles together and they help in the strong soil structure in the soil. Fungi break down organic matter, especially important where bacteria are less active. It means at low pH, fungi are more active. Their hyphae secretes acids and enzymes that break the surrounding organic material down into simple molecules they can easily absorb. Most fungi are aerobic heterotrophs. The chemosynthetic means absorb dissolved nutrients for energy. These fungi produce organic acids, increases humic acid rich organic matter that is resistant to degradation and they last in soil for hundreds of years. This picture showing the hyphae mycelium network increases active root surface for nutrient acquisition up to 700 times. Now next is actinomycetes. Actinomycetes are group of bacteria that grow as hyphae like fungi. They are abundant in the soil, rich in decomposed organic materials. They are species of Streptomyces, Micromonospora and Nocardia are some common actinomycetes occurring in soil. They are responsible for the characteristic musty or earthy smells of freshly plowed fields. They are capable of degrading many complex chemical substances and thus play an important role. So these actinomycetes also plays an important role in the degradation of organic matter in the soil. The next is algae. Algae are filamentous, colonial, unicellular and photosynthetic. Many microalgal forms occur on the surface of moist soils where sufficient light is available. The growth of microalgae is helpful for soil conservation and is improving soil structure. In paddy fields, blue-green algae play a significant role in nitrogen fixation. Species of cholera, Chlorococcum, Anabaena, Chlorococcus and nostoc are some common microalgae present in the soil. So these algae are important for nitrogen fixation, particularly in the rice fields. The mycorrhiza, these are symbiotic absorbing organisms infecting plant roots formed by some fungi. They are mutualistics, means get carbon from plant and give nutrient to plants. They solubilize phosphorus, bring soil nutrients to plants. Normal feature of root systems, especially in trees, increase nutrient availability in return for energy supply. Plants native to an area have well developed relationship with mycorrhizal fungi. So these mycorrhiza are helpful in the P solubilization and mobilization in the soil. There are two types of mycorrhiza. First are ectomycorrhiza and the other is endomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza grow on surface layer of root trees, whereas endomycorrhiza grow within root cells of grasses, crops, vegetables and shrubs. This diagram showing the growth of ectomycorrhiza and the growth of endomycorrhiza in the plant roots. Now these are the activities of soil microorganisms in the soil. There are both beneficial as well as detrimental activities of microorganisms in the soil. The beneficial activities include nutrient cycling. That is, cycling of nutrients involves the following transformation processes. First is decomposition, that is turning organic compounds into other organic compounds. The mineralization, it is turning organic matter into inorganic compounds that may be used by plants. Then immobilization, it is turning inorganic compounds into organic compounds. Mineral transformation means turning inorganic matter into other inorganic compounds. They also enhance the soil structure, which improves water and air movement in the soil. They control diseases and enhance the plant growth. The detrimental activities of soil microorganisms in the soil include some causes plant diseases. For example, fusarium wilt caused by fungus attack. Some causes root damages, for example, root knot nematodes. Some causes tuber destruction, for example, yam beetles in the soil. These are the factors affecting distribution, activity and population of soil microorganisms in the soil. The major soil factors which influence the microbial population, distribution and their activities in the soil are soil fertility, cultural practices, soil moisture, soil temperature, soil aeration, light, soil pH, organic matter, food and energy supply, nature of soil and microbial associations. So out of these, some factors can be modified, altered in the favor of microorganism growth in the soil. Now comes to biological nitrogen fixation. The growth of all organisms depend on the availability of nitrogen, that is amino acids. Nitrogen in the form of dinitrogen makes up 80% of the air we breathe but is essentially inert due to the triple bond of nitrogen. In order to nitrogen to be used for growth, it must be fixed, means it must be combined in the form of ammonium, NH4 or nitrate, that is NO3 ions. These are some nitrogen fixing organisms found in the soil. Free-living aerobic bacteria are Azotobacter, Begerincia and Cyanobacteria. Free-living anaerobic bacteria are Clostridium and D. sulfovibrio. Free-living associative bacteria are Azospirillum. The example of symbionts are Rhizobium in legume crops and Frankia in alden trees. Now types of nitrogen fixers. There are no such thing as a nitrogen fixing plant. There is symbiotic nitrogen fixers are having high rates of fixation, that is 5 to 20 plus gram nitrogen per meter square per year, with plants supplying carbon to the microbes and the plant receiving nitrogen. There is protection from oxygen via lag hemoglobin found in the legumes. Microbial symbionts resides in the root nodules. Bacteria means Rhizobia, legumes, and Lupinus and Robinia. Actinomycetes means Frankia, they are Alnus, Cenothus, found in woody non-leguminous plants. Nitrogen fixation rates reduced in presence of high nitrogen availability in the soil. So nitrogen fixation done by these leguminous plants, the Rhizobia microbes in the roots of the leguminous plants, is the great contribution of these microbes to the crop production. This is the table showing estimated average rates of biological nitrogen fixation. The free living microorganism Cyanobacteria fix 25 kg per hectare per year nitrogen in the soil, whereas the Azotobacter only 0.3 and Clostridium only 0.1 to 0.5 kg per hectare per year. The grass bacteria Azospirillum 5 to 25. The Cyanobacterial association means Azolla can fix up to 300 kg per hectare per year nitrogen in the soil. The leguminous plants symbiosis with Rhizobia can fix 50 to 100 kg per hectare per year. The actinorhizal plant symbiosis with Frankia can fix up to 1 to 150 kg nitrogen per hectare per year in the soil. This is the diagram of legume Rhizobium symbiosis. It shows the infection of Rhizobia to the roots of leguminous plants and producing their nodules. They live in these nodules and fix the atmospheric nitrogen. The first diagram showing the Rhizobia attack to root hairs. The second diagram showing an infection thread is formed through which bacteria enter into the root cells. In the third diagram, bacteria change into bacteroids, packed root cells enlarge. And in fourth one, the enlarged root cells form a nodule where nitrogen is fixed in the form of ammonium. This is the plant of Sesbania rostrata, have stem nodules as well as root nodules. Stem nodules are capable of photosynthesis as well as nitrogen fixation. Now comes to nitrification. It is an oxidation of ammonia to nitrate via nitrite. It occurs in well-drained aerated soils by two nitrifying bacteria, that is Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter together. Nitrification is a two-stage process. The process is energetically fairly inefficient, generating few ATP molecules. The bacteria grow slowly. The ammonium ions react with oxygen ions in the presence of Nitrosomonas bacteria, form the nitrite, plus energy is released. The nitrite, when react with oxygen in the presence of Nitrobacter bacteria, it converts into the nitrate and energy is released. The energy generated is used to fix carbon dioxide. It is an assimilatory process, and in this process there is conversion of nitrate to ammonium and then to nitrogenous compounds like amino acids. This is the picture of nitrification and denitrification process. In nitrification process, nitrogen is fixed in ammonia by the Cyanobacteria, Rhizobium, Azotobacter and Beijeringia. This ammonia is converted into nitrite by Nitrosomonas and into nitrate by Nitrobacter bacteria. This is nitrification. This nitrate, when released to the nitrogen form by Pseudomonas and other facultative aerobes, it is the denitrification of nitrate. Now comes to soil organic matter decomposition. The CN ratio of soil organic matter is 10 to 12:1. The CN ratio of plant litter is 20 to 400:1. The CN ratio of bacteria is 4:1 and the fungi is 10:1. The soil organic matter has 55% carbon, 5% nitrogen, 0.5% phosphorus and 0.5% sulfur. There are both alive and dead soil organic matter in the soil. The alive part have microbial biomass, that is fungi, bacteria 2 to 5%, and the dead part have non-humic substances 20 to 30% of soil organic matter and humic substances, that is 60 to 80% of soil organic matter in the soil. Now microbial decomposition of organic matter. Decomposition is the physical and chemical breakdown of dead organic matter. Three phases of plant litter decomposition is there. First is leaching by water. It removes soluble materials, means nutrients, simple carbon compounds. Second, fragmentation by soil animals. Third, chemical alteration. Chemical composition is altered as microbes break down organic matter molecules. Compounds are decomposed at different rates. New compounds are synthesized. Fungi accounts for most aerobic decomposition. 60 to 90% of microbial biomass in forests is fungi. About half of microbial biomass in grassland is fungi. Bacteria grow rapidly on labile substrates. Some function anaerobically in the soil. So bacteria and fungi, they both take part role in the organic matter decomposition in the soil, and they convert the fresh organic matter by decomposition ultimately into the humus in the soil. Now, what controls the rate of soil organic matter decomposition? Usual suspects are moisture, temperature, nutrients and oxygen. The second one is mechanical mixing and plowing. The third is plant species change. Next one is carbon additions. It acts as a priming pump. Then the soil pedology, parent material weathering status of soil affects the decomposition rate of soil organic matter in the soil. Humification. There are 5 steps of humification in the soil. The first is selective preservation. In this, plant waxes, cuttings, suberin, lignin, chitin, microbial cell walls are hard to decompose and become enriched in soil. In second process, microbial transformations. Enzymatic breakdown by microbes produces low molecular weight soluble compounds such as amino acids. The third steps is polyphenol formation. Phenols in soil are derived from lignin breakdown, soil microbial synthesis and by plants as defensive compounds. The fourth step is quinone formation. In this, conversion of polyphenols to reactive quinones as a result of extracellular enzymes. And the fifth and last step is abiotic condensation. In this, quinones react spontaneously with many soil compounds such as amino acids to form humus. And as we know that humus is a source of many nutrient elements in the soil and has an important role in the soil physical and chemical properties. So by converting these organic matter into humus, these soil microbes play an important role in the soil. So in this part of the program, we have discussed the soil microorganisms, their type in the soil and their role in the soil. As we know, we have studied that they have beneficial as well as detrimental activities in the soil. They are responsible for organic matter decomposition, nitrogen fixation and nitrification process in the soil. In detrimental activities, they are responsible for root rot and wilt disease in the soil.